everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I am, it's Monday morning. It's Monday morning. I went to sleep probably less than 5 hours ago. And, I'm a little sleepy. You feel me? I'm a little tired. I'm a little, want to go to sleep. I want to go to sleep. You feel me? You feel me? Ah! My Lord, on today. What we talking about today, y'all? What we talking about today? I gotta give y'all a little something. Now listen here. Listen to me loud and clear. Do y'all hear me coming through these speakers? Let me check. Let me check the 1-2s. Let me check on the 1-2s. Let me see what it's giving. Let me see what it's giving. Okay. Y'all doing all right. Y'all doing all right. Yeah, it's all right. What I'm about to do? Oh, I couldn't think straight. Alpha blocks, number blocks. Y'all can't hear me. Hold on. Alpha blocks, number blocks. Okay. All right. Let's go. Y'all can hear me a little bit. Y'all can hear me a little bit. Just enough. Just enough to get the point. Just enough to get the point. Okay. Good morning. Hi, welcome to EFP Media. I am Elvira Valdez, the host of this channel. And here we explore faith, journaling, wellness, and personal growth. Good morning. Tanya Bond, good morning. Where were you last night, sis? Me and Sister Paulette did our live, and we were talking about parenting and parenting with kids with parenting children with special needs. Where you was at, Tanya? We missed you on the line. We missed you on the line, sis. Where you was at? Huh? Huh? You know? So, good morning. So this morning, so recap, yes, last night, y'all, your girl did a 5-hour live with Life with Paulette. We discussed parenting and, she discussed her and Sister Davis. The spotlight was on them. So we were discussing parenting children with special needs, and it was a beautiful conversation. Paulette's son ended up coming on camera and like saying hi, and oh, you was asleep. Oh, well, come look, it's a long one, sis, so take your time, but watch it. It was good. It was really good. Watch it when you get some time, okay? Speed it up a little bit. You could put it on ×3 or ×2. Child, they got a ×4 out here. Now I said, now listen, now I can't listen that fast. That's what it's gonna sound like when you put it on 4 times. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Back in the day, when the TNT, it used to be on and popping over there. Man, them lives be like 5 hours long, 7 hours long, times two speed. Pastor Trinity, baptize Jesus Christ. I used to put that thing on times two speed. I ain't got the time. Who got 7 hours to listen to this on regular? Speed it up. Beat me up, Scotty. Hurry this podcast up. All right, y'all. Look, that's why, I try to give y'all a quick little 30 minutes. I try to give y'all a quick little 30. You feel me? So, good morning. We are talking about today. What we talking about? We're talking about, I was telling y'all about the live. So the live was beautiful. We did 5 hours. Great conversation, storytelling. The brother Tyree came over, shared his insight. He has a daughter, and then both myself, Paulette, and Sister Davis, we all have boys, but they have young men. Her sister Paulette's son is 16, and Sister Davis' son is 22. So it's interesting to see the dynamics, and I'm at the beginning of it all, and Tyree is also at the beginning of it all because his daughter is 2. So I'm at the stage when my baby just be talking. I be having to tell my son, like, baby, it's quiet time now. It's not time. I be like, let's just relax, And he'd be like, okay, mommy. Or he'll be like, whatever. And then I think one day, our buildings are getting painted. And he was like, oh, mommy, look at the buildings. And I was like, uh-huh. And he was like, mommy doesn't care. And I laughed because I was like, oh my goodness, he's, his emotional recognition and realizing like this lady don't care about what I'm talking about. So I had to laugh at that. But this morning, guys, as I'm on my way to work, I wanted to have a conversation about healing while still having to be functional. It's something that we all do. We all have to experience, and we do it every single day. That was one of the things that came up in our conversation yesterday or last night, was like, just because you have, a special needs child, or for me, I had lost 2 children or babies in the womb. As soon as I went into the second trimester, that's when I had miscarried, or things like that. And life went on. And things were, and nothing stopped. So I wanted to talk about that in a way, because you go through heartbreaks, you go through tough times, and sometimes you just want to hide away. You don't want to be bothered. You don't want to talk to nobody. You just want to hide away. But while all of that is good in a season or in a day, you can't just keep being that type of individual. You have to one day show up, be a functional human being, and keep it moving. Life don't stop. The party don't stop because you having a bad day. No, it doesn't. So you got to pick up your pieces and keep moving. So this is what I wanted to talk about, because there has been plenty of days where I just didn't want to call out of work. I wanted to call out of life, not by ending it. Don't get no crazy ideas. Because one day my friend said, I told my friend I go to therapy, and she went her mind went straight to uh SA, which is, the S word, assault. And I was like, I was like, why my friend gonna go? I said, is that what therapy means? No, sometimes people go to therapy because they need to talk about their feelings. Sometimes the healthiest people go to therapy. So when she said that, I was like, ooh, okay. I hope nobody else mind went there. That's not my story, but no. I'm healing from a narcissistic relationship. But anyway, y'all, so when I say sometimes I wanted to just call out of life, not by ending it, but by just taking a day and not having to be responsible. And as you all know, we're adults, we have children, we have family members that depend on us. That's not an option, for men or women. It's not an option to do that. You have to just show up. So it's a silent struggle. It's something that many people don't talk about. People don't always see the pain we're carrying. And I've always taken pride in not looking like what I've been through. So in a lot of cases, I show up, I want to look beautiful, I want to look healthy, I want to stick to the same routine, I want to be happy. I want to show up that way. I don't want anyone to, I don't want no one to see me sweat, right? And that's okay to have, but at sometimes you have to take the load off and stop trying to carry so much stuff by yourself. I don't know how men do it. I have no idea how you men do it. You men, let me tell you something. One of the hardest jobs in this world is to be a man. Because yes, women, we go through things, but we're not talking about that right now. We're going to give some affirmations to the men, okay? We're going to affirm them right now. Listen, for a man, a grown man, everything falls on him. When things are good and when things are bad, he got to take accountability for all of it. He has to, be aware. He has to think 10 steps ahead. He got to do so much planning, preparation, stop everything and do this and do that. And it's just so much, which is why he is the stronger vessel than the woman, because he can go through all of those things and still prevail. He can go to war. He can do all those things. When you decide to be a grown man, is when you decide to take accountability for all things. And that is something that many of us women can't even take accountability. Okay, now I'm not one of those women. I take accountability sometimes. Sometimes, like Whitney Houston says, sometimes. But getting back to the point, seeing sometimes most of us, we carry pain in there, and then there's no space to fall apart when you're the strong one. Many of us, if you watch my channel, you are the strong person in your family. You are the person that, they call on, they want, they need. And hardly ever do they call to see how you're doing. Do you need anything? Are you okay? Do you need a friend? Do you need a hug? They don't do that for you, but they want you to do that for them. And they constantly do this to you. And at some point, you just got used to it, right? At some point, you just get used to it, and you're just like, you know what? This is a part of the journey. This is a part of the way. So I'm just going to accept it as it is. But the issue is that you're just functioning. You're not okay. You're just going through the flow of life, and you're not really dealing or healing with what you got going on. So like for me, I'm a communicator, right? So a lot of times I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people about my feelings, or I like to communicate how I feel. And that to me is something that, not, I'm learning that I can't do that with everybody, because I don't have no control over how someone reacts or takes what I am saying. So I have to be very mindful of that as well. So, that's something that I'm learning. Like, though I like to communicate, maybe I just need to communicate with God and leave it there, and not try to communicate with, the human family too much about what I'm feeling, because my feelings are raw, they're deep, they're intense, and not everyone can handle that. So I have to be mindful of that as well. So, I wanted to share with you guys, like, how the pain can show up physically and emotionally. So you can have, sometimes you'll find yourself being tired. You can have brain fog. You can have irritability, which is very normal. Many moms who are overstimulated go through these type of symptoms or expressions of the body, because you're constantly being tugged on, you're constantly being touched, you're constantly being, you hear your name all the time. People are always looking to you to figure it out. Something you need, something to do, somewhere to go, someone's calling you. I have friends who, listen, you text them and you don't hear from them for like 3 days or 2 weeks, and then they come back and they're like, hey, sorry I missed your text. And it's, I don't take it as being intentional. Sometimes people are just busy. And I was sharing yesterday, I am the friend that sends the text and says, and then, what I started to notice is that now those sisters and cousins and whatever's, those friends, now they reach out to me and they're like, hey, how are you? Because it's not that I stop. I am not, like I said yesterday, I'm not a catch-all friend. I'm not a catch-all friend, and I'm not even gonna set myself up like that. I'm with you as long as you with me. I'm down with you as long as you down with me. Okay? All right. That's what I'm saying. You want to go to the left, I'm going, and I'm telling you, and nah, I'm not that type of friend. I'm not one of those friends. I'm not. I'm not a ride or die friend. I'm not a ride or die a girlfriend. You see, anything that end with friend, I don't ride or die. If you my husband, I'm a ride or die for you. I'm a ride or die for you. But I ain't gonna be riding too long in that either. Cause if you get consumed with the devil, you on your own. I don't know who came up with this concept, ride or die, but it ain't me. It ain't me. All right, so don't get no ideas. But I am a solid person. I'm a real solid person to have in your life. I'm a solid friend. When I'm down with you, and you down with me, I don't know where the sun coming at. Oh, right here. When I'm down with you and you down with me, we good. You feel me? So that's what we talking about. And then also you can feel, sometimes these emotions come up with feeling disconnected. So you don't really feel, yep, there you go. You call me sometimes, call me, check on me, text me sometimes, send me a text, stuff like that. You text me, I text you. You don't text me, I might text you, but if I keep texting you first, if I keep calling you first, if I keep showing up for you and you not showing up for me, then we don't have a flow. It's not a flow. It's a one-way relationship. And some people are like that. There are people that say, I can, I don't need someone to reciprocate energy back to me. Good for you. Good for you. I'm not that girl. My energy, my presence is too valuable to be giving it away without reciprocation. I'm sorry. I come through and I'm giving you a lot. I'm giving you real good energy. Real good energy. So you ain't gonna come up in here and talking about I'ma call Elvira when I feel like it. Okay, you keep on. When you come and you ain't gonna get through. Also I wanted to talk about, sometimes when I was healing from a breakup, I couldn't just clock out of motherhood, right? And then healing from a breakup, and your child is talking about this person, and you can't clock out of that. So I had to have my moments where I could, tap in with myself, take my shower. My nighttime routine became my me time. Instead of looking at it like something like a to-do list, I started to create little habits that drew me closer to spending time with myself, and all of that good stuff. So I was definitely uh, using my nighttime routine to kind of focus on me, have that moment. My child is asleep. I can think for a little bit. My mind is clear. I'm thinking. I can, rest assured that all is well. And I'm like, okay, boom. So because you can't clock out of motherhood in any kind of way, you have to kind of, you got to just roll with the punches, and I'll say this: the mothers before me, and my mother's generation and her mother's generation, they got this down packed. I never saw my mom crying about not having enough money to pay her rent, not having enough money to pay her bills. Not saying that she did not cry, but I'm just saying that I didn't see her do it. And even like when I talk to my dad sometimes, and he'll say, well, my mama had 5 kids or 4 kids, and then my uncle came along later. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm pretty sure many of them days she cried, many of them days she was frustrated, many of them days I'm pretty sure she was mean to y'all for no reason, because y'all was getting on her nerves, or life was getting on her nerves. And that's one thing that I mentioned in the conversation yesterday, where I was like, sometimes I have to go and apologize to my son because I'm irritable, I'm overwhelmed, and then good morning, and then I take it out on him, and he's just a kid. Or I spaz on him for doing one little thing, and I have to go back and say, I'm sorry. And I let him know, like, mommy is trying. Mommy is trying, and mommy is trying her best. Mommy's trying her best. And you know what my 5-year-old tells me? He says, it's okay, mommy. It's okay. And God made children so resilient. Kids can go through some of the toughest things, and they don't even realize what they went through until they become an adult. They don't even see how much danger and the impact of what their experience plays on their personality or their life. But they go through so much. Kids are just so resilient. They can go through so much. And it's just something that I just thank God for. And I thank God for my son, because he just reminds me, like, mommy, it's okay. No, it's no worries. That's pretty much what he's saying. No worries. And I have a duty to him to be a healthy mom, and that's where I'm getting to in the conversation. It's natural to feel like you don't want to show up, like you want to just clock out. There's been times where I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to be there today. I'm not going to work today. Even days when I work from home, there are moments where I work from home and I'm like, I'm not getting on that computer today, and I call out, or I take the day off, you know, and it's okay, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you need it, especially when Legend was in school. I needed those days where I could just not work and sit in the house and not have to worry about, you know, getting on that computer, and I had time to rest and get myself together. Those moments are needed for sure. So don't feel bad when you have to take a day off. You know, some of you, your children are grown now, so you don't really, you know, your kids are on their own, so you get more alone time than you ever thought you would have. Because, you know, when you're at the stage I'm at, I don't even see life without my son, right? I don't, but I know one day he's going to be hopefully off to college, hopefully you know, working and starting a career, business, whatever his heart desires, and he's going to be consumed with his own life. So those are the things. And one thing you can do is to start having routines, start giving yourself something to look forward to. That is one of the, y'all like the video, that is one of the, that's the fun part of life, right? When you're an adult, you can prepare and give yourself things to look forward to. You know, when you were a kid or when you were younger, you ain't had no money, you ain't had no job, you know, you had to depend on adults to give you something to look forward to. But now that you're an adult yourself, give yourself something to look forward to. You know, say things or do things where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself to this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna enjoy an ice cream at this shop today, and or I'm gonna purchase this for myself. Give yourself something to look forward to. You know, plan things, do things, treat yourself to stuff to bring you out of that. You know, yeah, people say money don't mean anything, but it trust me, it can make you feel a little better. Okay, when you can go to the mall and you can go different places and do as you please, it does make you feel a little better when you can have the things that you want, when you can afford to have the things that you want. So learn how to give yourself something to look forward to. Learn how to reinvest into yourself. Um, Go to the gym. My goodness, go to the gym. Now, I had to buy me another fitness watch because the one that I had stopped working on me, and I had it for about a few years now, so rightfully so. But start investing in yourself. Go work out, go walk. You can just walk. Any physical activity will be good for your body. Walk, lift weights if you want to, whatever you want. So do that. That is always a good thing to have, good thing to do. um what else are some things that I do? Move, like I said, move your body, but then also, you know, I love to give myself incentives. I love a good incentive. So make sure that you are um, just taking care of yourself. And know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this. Um, you're not alone in this. You know, you're not the only person dealing with this, no matter what it is. So when I was going through a breakup, I was sad. I was sad. Your girl was sad. I was crying. Whew. But the reality is that that has ended. It ain't coming back. So now you need to move on. And now you need to pick up the pieces and figure out a way. Did I want to do that? No, I didn't. but I had to. You feel me? I had to. So that was hard. Mourning someone and having and grieving someone that's still alive is hard. Okay, it's one of the hardest things you could ever do. Um, it's one of the hardest things you could ever do. So that would sometimes would cause me to feel down, depressed, because I'll be like, oh my goodness, I should be buying a house right now. I should be married by now. I should be pregnant with another baby by now. But those types of expectations that you put on your life can cause you to think less of yourself, can cause you to spiral. Thinking about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas ain't gonna get you nowhere. Think about today. What are you doing today? What do you want to do today? Who do you want to be today? One of the beautiful things that I like about being an adult, I could be whoever I want to be. The old Elvira don't exist no more. I don't know her. The new Elvira, she's here. She's here. And she looks like this. And she's happy. And she's kind. And, anything I want to be, I could just be it. When did we stop believing in that? We tell our children that all the time. Whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do in life, especially with us, as long as it aligns with, the scripture and stuff, you could do it. And when did we stop believing that as adults? When did we stop believing that? Be whoever you want to be. And don't let nobody tell you that. Matter of fact, it's my friend's birthday. Speaking of friends, it's my friend's birthday. I gotta call her. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta call my friend. It's literally my best friend's birthday. And rent due. The rent due is my friend's birthday. The rent due. Car payment due. Car insurance due. Taekwondo due. Tanya Renee said, not Tanya Renee, my bad. Tanya Bond said, I got paid once a month, and once a month I treat myself to whatever it is I want, not need, what wants. Yes. Okay. And that's on period. I'm not riding up and down, the city picking up people's food orders because I like doing it in this heat. No. I'm not coming to this brick building dealing with people that I wouldn't even be friends with in the real world because I want to. I do these things because I want what I want in life, and I can't get it by outside of having a job. So, yes, you take care of your responsibilities, and after I pay all my bills, then I'm gonna, order me something from, Amazon. Go to the mall, go to H&M, get me a new dress, get me a new skirt, get me a new scarf, give me a new pair of shoes, give me a little bag, some, pay me for my pain. I gotta go up in this building right now. I would rather be in my bed. So absolutely, Tanya, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's so important that we take care of ourselves. Treat yourself. Buy you a new pair of sneakers. Buy you a new pair of shoes. Take yourself out to eat. Go to the restaurant. Go get the cheesecake. Go to the ice cream parlor. Go to the coffee shop. When people say, you got coffee at home, so So I want this one. Okay. You know, you know. So absolutely, Tanya. You got to treat yourself. You don't work hard, or even if you do, I know you, sister, don't work, but when you get your money, when you earn your money and you receive your money, you deserve it. Don't let nobody tell you you don't deserve nice things. Don't let nobody tell you that. You don't have to drive the hoopty. You don't have to live, I don't know how you would call it. You ain't got to live like that. You can have humble beginnings, but you don't have to live like that. You can live a life of luxury. You just can't be attached to it. That's all. Your heart can't be attached to it. You can't feel puffed up in your chest because you drive a luxury vehicle. You can't feel puffed up in your chest because you sleep in a 5-6 bedroom home. You can't feel puffed up in your chest because your backyard is of 5 to 10 acres and your children have a pool and they go to private school. You can't find value in it, though it does not mean you can't have it. I don't know who wrote that, where people got that mindset at when they say you believe in God. So now, when they say have a meek and humble spirit, didn't tell you to be broke. Now that's a whole nother conversation. Ain't nowhere in that word tell you to be broke. It said that the poor will be with you always, but it didn't say you had to be the poor. I can't give you tithes and offering if I ain't got it. So this is for anybody. Don't let nobody convince you that you can't have nice things. You can't have the things that you want, that you got to be poor, that you got to live at a low degree. And no, you can have the desires of your heart. You can have these things, but guess what? You can't attach yourself to them. You can't find identity with these things. You can't think that if these things were taken away from you today, who would you be as a person? That is where the truth of who you are lies. Who are you without the car? Who are you without the fine linen? Who are you without the Birkin bag? Who are you without the Louis Vuitton slides? Who are you without the Gucci belt? Who are you without the 5-bedroom house with a pool? Who are you without those things? That is where the value lies. It does not mean that you can't have those things. It does not mean that. It just means that you can't be attached to it. Your heart should be lighter than a feather. The riches of the world will all pass away. Does not mean you cannot have it. And I'm always going to treat myself good. I'm not riding around the city picking up people lunch and dinner and going here and there because I want to. I want to have a life that provides not only for me but my son, and then also helps me clear off, debt, and gets me to a place where I can see my way through some things. So like Tanya said, when she gets paid, she treat herself to a little something. She treats herself to a little something, and she finds joy in that. And I hope you do. I hope you do. And don't let nobody tell you any different. If anybody trying to convince you and keep telling you that you ain't, keep trying to belittle you or make you feel small, that's just them trying to feel comfortable in their own poverty mindset. Because it is what it is. Half these people, you don't know, half these people that you see all the time, you don't never know. You never know. And that's one thing my dad taught me. My dad would drive a pickup truck, a Pinto, a beat up car, and we'll go to different places not knowing when we go home, we're going to a beautiful home. People wouldn't know that. When I do food deliveries to these people, some people, not everybody house that has $1 million house has a Maserati or a Mercedes in their driveway. Some of these people drive Toyota Highlanders. Some people, these people drive Camrys, Lexus. Lexus is a very affordable luxury car. And a lot of them drive these types of cars all around, so you wouldn't even know. Jeep Cherokees and Jeep and all the other G's, a Bronco. You wouldn't even know these people live in $2 million homes or $1 million homes. So I'm saying that to say, don't let people think that you can't have the best. And don't let people tell you that, when you a follower of Christ, you can't have the best. I don't know where that came from. Because when I read about all the people that was rocking with Christ and Jesus, and when the Lord chose them people weren't broke. Now maybe it's me, but they were not broke. Not everybody. Not everybody. But call it what you want. People may say, if I don't know what people say. Honestly, I don't even care. Good morning, Josh. Good morning. I don't really even care what people think, what people say. I don't. I take care of me. I don't ask nobody for nothing, and I'm going to buy myself nice things. I'm going to take care of myself. My skincare routine is over $100 by itself. So I'm gonna treat myself well. I'm gonna treat myself well. I think that'll be another topic, because as I'm, striving to get out of debt and clear off some things, I think this is important to know. Um, on the channel, we talked about it a little bit, but now I'm actually like implementing the steps. I finally found the way to get me there. So I'm implementing the steps and I'm doing what I gotta do. So that's what we doing. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more talks. Hopefully I will be back on Monday. And if that's the case, child, Monday. Today's Monday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday. I don't know what the topic will be, but we'll be chatting it up on Wednesday. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. God bless you, Josh. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated in this heat. And until next time, bye.